I waited too long. I waited too long to make the decision to leave the United States. Hey, my name is Tiffany and my page is called La Expatriada, and we'll talk about how I came to that name, but it should be pretty obvious. I've had great times and great followings on some of the other social media platforms. And finally, I submitted to creating a YouTube page. I'm not leaving those other platforms, but over here, I have an opportunity for some longer form content. I have hours and hours and hours of video, and I'll be able to post a lot of that over here. So my page, La Expatriada, it's a play on words, the expat. Let's talk about the difference between an expat and an immigrant. An expat is a person who moves away from their native land and they stay long-term or semi-permanently in another place. An immigrant is someone who has the intent to leave their native land and stay there indefinitely. Right now, I kind of fall in the middle. I don't know if Panama will be where I will stay indefinitely, but it will certainly be a home base for me. I don't think the United States could ever really be a home base for me again. Now, you can call me an expat, you can call me an immigrant. Both of those will fit. I think the word immigrant is another one of those things that the United States has taken that word and twisted it to where it's something very negative. I considered relocating outside of the United States just post-pandemic, and I don't know if I was thinking things were just bad because of the pandemic. I really knew that living in the United States was becoming increasingly dangerous and unaffordable, and the list goes on. This first formal entry, I feel like I'm writing in a diary more than I'm talking about all things relocating outside of the United States. And I hope it will encourage or support someone else who is interested in moving outside of the United States. I started early in changing my mindset and understanding what it would be like to give up everything. Working, to retire early, to get rid of all the things that I own, to sell my home. It was a lot. So I want to start with my why. Why did I make a decision to relocate outside of the United States? The list could be easy and long, so I'll kind of start out by saying this. Of all of the things that were going on with the pandemic, but it was the people. It was the way people were acting and reacting and all of the other horrible things that I don't need to go into that were happening. Fast forward to 2025, and what I really see over and over and over again that's very alarming is it's not an administration. It's not anything about that so much as it is the people who allow it. It's my neighbors who allow it. It's people that are walking around with me all day, smiling and grinning. But when people need to come together for the common good, I don't think we have those kind of people in the United States. Not enough that all of us have the same opportunities living in the United States. Now for me, making decisions, just like when I vote, is not always singularly about me and what I need for my life. I look carefully at what's happening all around me to other women and other people of color and other children, and I really look at all of these things as a whole. Have any of those things been getting better in the United States? I don't know what your answer is, but certainly for me, it's no. The selfish part in becoming a retiree very soon was healthcare, affordability, housing, access to good and nutritional food. The list goes on and on. So the decision started with, where do you go? Panama was not my first decision. It had what a lot of expats enjoy about Panama. It's got close proximity to the United States. Easy flights there all day, one way if you live in the East Coast. The healthcare, the affordability. I think I waited too late also because Panama is changing rapidly. There are a lot of expats. So many people are moving to the area. In Panama City, you can't throw a rock without hitting 4 or 5 Americans, much less people from other countries. Not only are foreigners coming there, by the large numbers. We can't help it. We're also bringing some of the culture that is ingrained in us. It seems to me that many of us will lose that. However, it's there right now. The prices are going up. The gringo bingo is happening everywhere. And like with anything in life, you just have to maneuver your way through all of those things to make it work. Young people ask me this question all the time. Their first question is, I want to move. Where can I get a job? You cannot necessarily just roll into the country of Panama and get a job. A lot of the jobs and the professions are reserved for the Panamanian people, and there's very few jobs available for foreigners. We do what we see a lot of Panamanians do. We make something. We make something out of nothing if we have to. There are so many talents and skills that we all have that quite honestly we should have been using in the United States. It's hard for us to break free of that. I've got to call up a company. I've got to get a job. I've got to get a paycheck. I've got to get insurance. That's not necessarily something that you might find living outside of the United States. And I can speak specifically for the country of Panama. I am currently living in many cities throughout the country of Panama and really enjoying that, traveling from city to city and trying my best to live like a local. And it looks like it definitely will not be the city, although I love the city. I've had beautiful apartments with beautiful views and enjoyed walking to the park, enjoyed interacting, enjoyed the convenience of walking and restaurants at your fingertips and just so many things to do in the city. But then that comes with a lot of honking, a lot of noise, a lot of hustle, a lot of bustle, and some of that gringo bingo that I mentioned earlier. My goal isn't to move to another country and live like I lived in the United States. I really do have a desire to immerse in the local culture and find and maneuver that place where I can live happily, safely, affordably. One of the things that I have experienced a little bit myself and seen a lot of people fall into is this trap of living like a tourist when you move to any other country. You pay top dollar because you feel like you're paying less than what you paid where you came from, so you're overpaying for a lot of things. You're living in places like Casco Viejo, which is tourist central. It's just like when I lived in Los Angeles and someone said, well, I'm going to come and visit Los Angeles and I'm going to stay on the Sunset Strip. Like, who does that? That's a very tourist area. I hope you enjoyed this information and I hope you come back. Please like, please subscribe. I have so much video footage to show you about all of the beautiful cities that I visited and stayed in the country of Panama, information about immigration, information about all things relocating outside of another country. I'll try my very best to answer any questions that you have, so please leave those questions in the comments. And I hope you joined my journey with me, Tiffany, La Expatriada. Okay, bye.